Hello and welcome back to Jackknives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jackknife, and once again, it's A24 time. Let's take a look at the new fantasy adventure film, The Legend of Ochi. A young girl named Yuri is raised on the island of Carpathia to fear the reclusive forest creatures known as the Ochi. When she comes across a baby Ochi, she instead decides to take care of it and protect it from the people who fear it most. And with this little creature finding the true beauty of understanding and of nature. I'm a big fan of taking a simple premise and doing something interesting with it, making it feel organic. This movie does that pretty well. It really felt like a throwback to a lot of 80s/early 90s film that centered around kids and, of course, the adults that don't believe them or are stuck in their ways. But it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel too rough around the edges. I liked the simple design of creature, especially the baby creature. Was very simple. It was like a combination of kind of like a monkey and I guess almost Gizmo-like gremlins, almost. But it felt like the design was not out of this world crazy, that something like this could exist. And I think that really helped establish the movie. The fact that it's set in a foresty landscape setting with a little more on the rural side truly did help the story feel well-paced and well-structured. Those living out in native land, you are literally surrounded by nature. You have to kind of become one with it, and there's a lot of that in this movie. That feels like it's very much love the planet, understand that things are beyond your control, don't try to live in fear, and things of that nature that seem like basic principle. This felt like a very organic young kids movie. A movie in the vein of, say, Explorers or Goonies, in the way that it feels like it wasn't trying to just make a straight-up kids movie. It felt like it was trying to make a fun little movie centered around a kid. Speaking of which, Helen Zengel, who plays Yuri, the main character, she has a weird quirkiness about her that feels authentic. It doesn't feel like she's trying too hard to be weird, misunderstood, but in a way that you could kind of see as a practical sense, especially in the setting in which she lives. She's awkward, goofy, but fun, loving, and when you have a movie centered around one central character, specifically a young kid, you need to make that kid very likable. You need to make that kid very relatable to the audience. And I feel like the movie did it really, really well. Although there are times where you're kind of like, the pacing's a bit off. It's not bad, it's just a little bit off. Willem Dafoe is also in this movie as this stoic kind of priest-like figure, or more like a chief-like figure, who just wants to get rid of the Ochi animals because they're so notorious for killing people, and, you know, that old chestnut of, we don't understand it, so let's kill it. But he does a good job as playing this kind of neutral antagonist, and a couple of the other cast are fine. Nothing great, nothing to write home about. The main focus of the movie is Yuri and her relationship with Ochi. Seeing this kind of dynamic of nature and misunderstanding, and it's just a fun movie, and it feels like it went by very quickly because of the pacing being so well done. It's a very fun movie. Truly, it felt like a throwback to a lot of old 80s kids movies. And so I feel like it's one of those movies, yes, you could show it to your young kids, not your young kids, but to your young kids, and I think they'll have a good time watching it. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a fun movie, but I have seen movies in the kids genre that, especially recently, have kind of outshined it. But for a movie that's centered around practical effects, with a simple story, and especially the settings being so gorgeous and the landscapes being fantastic, I'd say check this movie out. It's well worth your time. I give The Legend of Ochi 4.5 out of 5. Have you seen The Legend of Ochi? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you next time.